Like I mentioned in a previous video, I was fortunate enough to have a lot of divine love therapy sessions, basically where I got to vent whatever I wanted to in a safe container with one of my divine love healing friends. One of the things that she and I would often talk about, it was people looking for openings. And I'm going to leave a link to her channel in my description box so that you can check her out. But the way that I understand it is, in my experience, someone is looking for a negative opening to either consciously or unconsciously, consciously see if they can get a negative reaction from you to receive some energy and create a negative energy cord. Now, we didn't go into depth about that, but she put me on the right path by saying that they were looking for openings. You know, people trying to look for openings. Because, you know, when she broke that down, and the reason why I'm going to leave her channel, and I'm not going to break down what she broke down, because you can go check out her channel. She's very wise. Source is speaking through her. But when I got to learn about the negative energy cords through some other Reiki healers, which she's a Source Awakened Reiki healer as well, but I got to learn about the energy cords through some other Reiki healers, is that, you know, a negative energy cord can be created when somebody intentionally wants to inspire anger, envy, jealousy, any kind of a negative emotion that they can get from you to feed off of. And this creates a negative energy cord between two parties. If the person is getting into that energy, like if they allow themselves to get angry or jealous or envious or upset, then they're creating an opening. So there were a couple of times where she told me, like, oh yeah, you know, you sealed them openings. You know, like, you passed that test. And it's really beautiful to have such validating and affirming conversations with the divine, because it lets you know when you are on the right track. So if you have those type of people in your life, share gratitude and appreciation, because I'm super, super grateful. And the video that I made, Care Bear Mastery, there was something that I left out that I felt was not necessary to share. But then as I meditated on it, it's something, a quick meditation, it was like a couple minutes, I realized it's something that I could share in an educational context so that people can not cord with people intentionally, when people are trying to intentionally cord with them. I'm doing this video and you have something that you're supposed to be doing, so go do it. Pardon. So when people are trying to consciously cord, it means that they are trying to inspire a negative energy, a negative reaction. Like the example that I have, which was actually my experience from my Care Bear Mastery chapter, is that the friend of mine was like, what about your friends? No, just playing. But she was like, you know, picking up on, you know, my desire to receive help from her. And it wasn't something like I felt entitled to. I didn't feel like she had to do anything for me, because of course I could do it for myself. I'm an adult, you know, but just being a nurturer and a lover, you know, by nature, I began to open that part of myself up and desire her to assist me with certain things. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, in my opinion. But nevertheless, she was like she was in the awareness of that. And she was like, don't want nothing. I'm busy. Don't want. Give me a couple minutes. Don't want. Is it an emergency? Congratulations, goddess. Because that's what you always do. You always get 100%. What was it? Is it an emergency? You see I'm doing a video right quick. Other timelines, making wise decisions, doing things in appropriate manners. So, the friend was like, do not want anything from me that I don't want from you. And I was like, okay, I respect that. That makes sense. I mean, nothing wrong with that. We can't be upset with anybody for their truth, especially if it's just their truth and they're not, harming somebody. They're not, raping, murdering, or, anybody. They're just like, don't want me to be your parent or whatever, It's a consciousness, so it's nothing to be mad at. But the courting attempt, and I'm not saying that my friend was consciously, trying to court, but this is how negative energy cords are, one of the ways that negative energy cords are created, and one of the ways that, whatever influences people, that's why I said conscious and unconscious, because they could just have influences that are like, at work, at play. Our influences are looking for an opening, and that's why it always reverts back to self too, because I'm like, wait a minute, why am I receiving this energy? Why does this energy think that I have an opening for that type of behavior? Because I'm obviously not that person to be getting mad about what somebody wants to do and what they don't want to do. But to be specific, for educational purposes, my friend was like, oh, I helped such and such. And, she told me this story about how she helped this person exactly, specifically in the ways that she thought that I wanted her help. But I had already accepted her for who she was and did not no longer want her help. So, there was a little bit of, data delay. Or just, data was taking a bit time to catch up, because I no longer wanted that, because I don't want what people don't want to be. I only want them to be who they want to be. I don't want them to be anything else, right? I'm not an imposer. And I love myself. So, yeah, I'd already accepted, that she didn't want to be that person. She's not my parent. I could do it myself, right? The consciousness. So I got that already. But then, and there's nothing wrong with mommies needing help, by the way. Just want to say that, it's okay that we're so super natural, super magical, super masterful, if we chose to partner with some demons and then we had to eliminate those contracts because them demons was trying to destroy shit. And then we holding it down by ourselves. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay? But, she thought that I was still in that timeline. I had already jumped timeline. She thought I was still in the timeline of that nurturing. Oh, I love this friend and she loves me and I wish for her to do that for me. The Care Bear stuff. Remember I said Care Bear Mastery? she thought I was still at Care Bear Mastery timeline. So she's like, girl, I helped such and such, and all the things that she thought I wanted her to do for me, she did it for somebody else, and I was like, yay! I was genuinely, wholeheartedly happy that she found it in herself. Whether this was a complete fabrication story or not, I don't care. It could have just been a complete lie. I've seen people do that, where they just make up lies, to try to like look for opening. I've seen people do that, and I would be like, does that what you do with your third eye? That's what you do with your gifts. It's no judgment, no judgment, no judgment, no judgment, because, I'm using my faculties the way I'm using my faculties, and I'm not about to judge the way somebody else is using their faculties. But when they start showing up in the reality like that, then I know it's time for me to do that self-love magic trick. Oh, wait. Where Wago? She over there loving herself, yo. She over there loving herself. She ain't thinking about you. Because that's what we're supposed to do. It's not judgment. It's not, negative. It's just like, hold on. I'm completely sealed. I don't have any openings for that type of energy. I'm never going to be mad at somebody else's blessings. I celebrate everybody for who they are, as long as they're not being a rapist, pedophile, or murderer. That's another thing. But I'm celebrating her. I'm celebrating the person that she blessed, right? So this is important for educational purposes, because if you ever run into somebody, whether it's their spiritual energy at play or it's actually them consciously trying to be manipulative and look for an opening, my teapot, you can completely be sovereign and not create any negative energy cords with that person by celebrating them, for what they're doing. Like how they want to show up, right? You celebrate that. And of course, it doesn't resonate with you because you don't want people in your sphere, in your space, that are trying to look for openings, whether consciously, unconsciously. That's not what you're here to attract. So then you just remove yourself, and dance with yourself, It's self-love. For real. So it's important. We have to have that. And that's what I wanted to make this little quick, offering about, is just making sure that, if somehow our divine benevolence attracts energies that are like, hey, you still have to manifest this. This must be your weakness. And you must have an opening for an energy cord to feel jealous or envious or angry. You can be like, self-love. It's like, no, I don't, have an opening for that. Jealousy or envy or anger about what you doing with your research. It's like, come on, money. Like, that's so immature. It's immature, And it's, like I said in that other video, it's disempowering. It's ungodly. Like, how are you going to be God inside of you mad at what somebody else is doing with their gifts? It doesn't make no sense, So we just have to stay clear of that out in this, as my shaman sister friend says, scope. Mm-hmm. And even before I knew her, I was always like, okay, we are in a classroom with our soul and source. I've been saying that for the past 15 years because somebody was trying to always project their... Stay out of her account. Okay, thank you. Respect her space. Don't impose yourself. Okay, all right. I'm almost done wrapping it up. But yeah, it's... Don't come in here. I said I'm wrapping up. You already made me lose my last wrap-up thought. You on that BS. You guys are supposed to be doing your action. Everybody has an action right now that's being completed. And your action was not to talk to me and interrupt me for something petty. Yeah, that's something petty. That's something petty that we could have discussed in 5 minutes later. That's something unnecessary and petty that we could have discussed 5 minutes later. Thank you. No more timelines of irresponsibility. So, yeah. The purpose of this video was to talk about how important it is for us to love ourselves enough to where if we somehow magically, benevolently, in our self-correction and refinement process, attract energies that are consciously or unconsciously looking for openings or looking for, as I would say, you know, what I learned about the negative energy cords, because, you know, the reason, I don't know if I touched on this deeper, but how I learned about the negative energy cord connection was there was a couple people that had pissed me off, and I didn't talk to the healer that I was working with about it or nothing, you know. But, you know, since I was on a healing regimen with a Reiki master, she sent me a message and said, okay, I just removed negative energy cords with these two women and this woman. And I was like, oh, really? Just me getting mad. Just me getting mad at them for being stupid energies, saying some dumb stuff to me, right? Created a negative energy cord. And I was like, wow, okay, I'm understanding these dynamics. You know, my masterful friend, like I was telling you, she told me about the openings. And she was just breaking down what we were discussing and, you know, applauding me and validating me and affirming me like she's so lovingly does. And then the other Reiki master took the lesson even further by, right after I got into the conflict with these women saying dumb stuff to me, and I got angry, like, woo! I was angry. I was hot. I was like, damn bitches. She hit me up and she was like, yeah, so you got these three energy cords. I just removed them. And that's all she said. That's all she needed to say, because I'm in my refinement process. I was able to connect the dots and understand that it was my anger with these women that created these negative energy cords. So out here in this classroom that you are all in with your soul and God, source, most high God, or however you choose to just say it, universe, you're in this specific classroom, this specific coursework. And I've been feeling this way since 2008. You know, I was on a path. I had just became a parent, and I was like, wow, you know, it looks like we're in the same reality, but we're not. We're all in our own classroom, and we're all on our own coursework, even though we might be saying the same prayers and believing in the similar and same things. She's doing that to push your buttons. Don't have any buttons to push. I'll be right there. So you don't have a right to go in her account and play her game. If you don't have that game, you got your own games. Stay in. Girl, get out of her account. Yeah, timelines of inner peace, self-love, and responsibility to create situations of harmony and not any situations of unnecessariness. I'm coming right now. You are literally having a tantrum for no reason. There's nothing wrong with you besides the fact that she's imposing herself in your account. She's not touching you. She's in your account. All right, I gotta go put people in timeout for imposing themselves. You know, out here in these parenting coursework, they be trying to make you a master, okay? Straight up. So, but that's, I think I said what I wanted to say, you know, in this video, about, you know, this addition to Care Bear Mastery, you know, more specifics, you know, for educational purposes, you know, how to, not create negative energy cords with people. Like I learned from my first Reiki master friend, she called them openings. And I understood her at the level that I did, right? Because she explained it in a beautiful way. I want you to go look at her channel, so I don't want to say what she said, but I will just say that my understanding of what she said was that, when she was affirming and validating me, was that, I sealed and removed the person trying to create openings, in some specific situations that we were discussing a couple of years ago. This is a couple of years ago. And I was like, I like that. Thank you. You're so loving and nurturing. You gotta have those kind of friends that are like, they not even fake with it. It's just naturally nurturing and divine. They just affirm you naturally as who they are. When you attract who you are, even if it's just that one thing about that person, they don't gotta be who you are on all levels, right? Everybody's their own uniqueness, but just if they're able to reflect the quality that you have, like if you're the one that always looks into people and sees their best and understands what they're doing, like that's great when you attract those traits in others. It's powerful because then you get to receive what you give to others, and I love that. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But like I said, it was taken a step further when the other Reiki master sent me a message and was like, I just removed those energy cords from those 3 ladies. And I didn't even tell her what was going on, what I was mad about, or that I got mad. And she didn't explain how to get the energy cords. I just was able to understand from God inside of me. And, the conversation about the openings and connect the two together. Thank you. It's a blessing. So, excuse me. We stay clear of, those negative energy cords by not allowing ourselves to get angry or frustrated with that person. And that's why I was already my masterful self when she was like, yo, I ain't gonna help you, and I helped this person. I was like, yay! Genuinely, it's like, yay, because I don't want your help because you don't want to give it, and I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for that person, and we just happy, we just love. That's what it is, divinity. You're not like, there's no room for ignorance and being upset about what somebody don't want to do and what they do want to do and who they want to help. That's demonic. That's wicked to be mad about somebody else's blessing. Stupid. So that's important, and that's what I wanted to say. So much, that we're all here learning in our coursework, our individual coursework. I wish everybody lots of mastery of their coursework and their lessons, some 100%. Because people be out there trying to give people Fs. Like, let's do this for fun. Let's see if you're about to get an F today. As they be trying to do. Consciously or unconsciously, the energy, but all relating back to self, because if those type of people, hold on, I'm almost done. Hold on. If those type of people are showing up like that, then that just means like, hey, I'm in my refinement, I'm in my refinement process, and this is not what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in people showing up and showing out in that way. That's not the way that I show up and show out. So let me just dance myself up out of this room. Okay. And continue to dance by myself. We don't need people around us for any reason. We don't need them for any reason. God's source is inside of us and all around us. And if somebody is showing up in a reflection that is not in resonance or in alignment, we don't need them to be there in misalignment. Okay. To continue to be in a non-resonant energy or continue to look for openings, as the divine master sister would say. We don't need that. And as I would say, we don't need people, to try to negatively cord with us continually. Like, you don't want somebody continually testing you in that way, So it's important to, love from a distance and not to interact, consistently or intimately with people that want to be that way and want to provoke or stimulate that type of chord, that type of connection. I think that I was after she told me about the chords with the lady, the negative chords with the ladies, I was like, damn, I was a little bit scared to think loving thoughts with people. I was just like, I don't want no chords. I need my energy. I need my fucking energy, So it was like, wait a minute, I don't want any chords. I don't even want to say I love you to people because I don't want loving chords. These chords work be having people out here a little scarred. But no, not really, but it's just like it can make you really think of things and like, well, wait, what's being created when I say I love you? And do I really want to have that loving energy cord with you? Are you a safe space? Are people that you're creating loving energy cords with a safe space? Or are they going to use those loving energy cords to create a negative energy cord whenever they feel like it? Since there's already a connection. So that was just my thoughts. Like that's why I had to become a little bit more skeptical. But it's important to stay in the awareness of magnetizing the reality that you want. So just knowing that you only create loving connections. That's it. So if somehow there's a glitch in the matrix and people are showing up in a non-resonance of love, a non-loving vibration, or even just a vibration that's just not exactly what you want or need, or reflecting, those important aspects of self that you need to see back in others, it is okay to just distance yourself in the name of love, in the name of peace, in the name of self-love and happiness and acceptance. Be focused on your own personal development and not what others are, judgments or not interestedness or whatever, So I wanted to say that. But key takeaways are the people that you're creating loving energy cords with, safe spaces, so that there's a constant, anytime that there is an exchange, that there's just a loving exchange and not any other exchanges. And these are questions that, you would know and answer for yourself in your coursework. And then doing the work, the self-hypnosis, deep hypnosis and relaxation, to not get angry, frustrated, upset with people, so that those type of energy cords are not created, negative energy cords, through being angry, through being frustrated. And for those in those lessons for being envious or jealous, that will definitely be a negative energy cord. How to not create negative energy cords is by staying in yourself. Like, you don't need anything from anybody. So being at peace and in that awareness with yourself, that love with yourself, there's no negative energy cord being created because you're not upset with this person for anything, because you love yourself and you are happy for them and you just let them be in their resonance with themselves because you love yourself, and you love them enough to, be loving, really, truly, genuinely loving towards them. You don't feel a need to be upset with them for how they are choosing to show up or how, it manifested. So, in the context of this conversation. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Wishing everybody lots of success. I'm about to be lots of success in their coursework with God's source within them and around them. I hope everyone that you are attracting is showing up as your most highest reflections, meaning like, the way that you treat others, is the way that they treat you. You're being loving and kind, and then they're being loving and kind, and people are not trying to negatively test you or create negative energy cords, because you don't do that. So, all those shadow workers, God bless them, and their shadow working selves amongst themselves with themselves. you know? Um, but yeah, I'm definitely wishing everyone lots of success with the coursework and not creating negative energy cords with people, doing the deep inner work so that when somebody comes with that energy, you see it for what it is and you bless them in love and light. Like, I celebrate you, goddess, and celebrate myself. Lots of peace and love, and that's it. There's no need to judge for judgment. There's no need for condemnation. There's no need for any of that. It's just all unnecessary. It's all unnecessary, in my coursework, I'm thinking that being sovereign and not courting with people negatively is full self-love and acceptance, and being able to fully love and accept them for who they are and where they're at. And then, there's no anger there. It's just peace, love, and light. So I just wanted to share that. I hope it's beneficial to you all out in your coursework, and if it resonates, and if it's something, that Source is consolidating, Most High is consolidating for you with some other data that's already been coming to you, and it's just like it fits in. Yay! I'm glad. I'm grateful to be of assistance. Thank you so much for your time, and please let me know how you feel in the comments, and I appreciate your time. Looking forward to hearing from you, and I appreciate you sharing this message.